Hey y'all, welcome to this week's What's for Dinner. We're going to start out first making homemade sloppy joes. I have 2 pounds of hamburger meat. I'm going to season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper. We're going to get this meat browned up and ready. Somehow I missed this part. I did add in some onions and some bell peppers to my meat, and I somehow missed recording it, so you will see I have onions and bell peppers in there. I'm going to add in some minced garlic. Since this recipe is for 1 pound of meat, I put in 3 cloves of garlic, but later you will see me adding more because I needed to double everything and I forgot. After that, we're adding in some tomato paste. It called for 1 tablespoon. And you can see I remembered, oh, I need to double this. So anyway, so we add that in now. So I ended up in total adding 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and 6 cloves of garlic. So you will see me adding that in now. And then after I stir it up real well, we will continue on adding some more stuff. Okay, and then you're going to need 2/3 a cup of ketchup, which I guess would be, when doubled, 1.5 cups of ketchup. But I just did 2/3 twice. Why not? Okay, and then 1/3 a cup of water, which I did twice. And then I need to add in some brown sugar. I put in 2 tablespoons of that. And then I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of mustard. Okay, now we're going to add in some chili powder. It calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon, but I'm doubling it, so I did 1.5. Okay, it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, but I doubled it. And then you need to add in some salt and pepper. It called for 1/2 teaspoon. And then on the pepper, 1/4 teaspoon, but I doubled it. And this is optional, but I put in 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Called for optional, a dash of hot sauce. I can't speak. So anyways, there it is all done. I ended up mixing that up. I let it simmer for about 15 minutes and it was really good. Okay y'all, tonight I'm going to try something different. I'm going to make meatloaf. And we're going to make mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot. So I'm cutting up some potatoes and I'm putting these in the bottom of the Instant Pot. And I'm cutting them kind of in bigger chunks so that they don't get too mushy during the cook time. Okay, I'm going to add a cup of water to the bottom. Throw a little bit of salt in there. I'm also going to add, I'm going to put some minced garlic in here. Never done that, but we'll add 1 clove. And then I'm going to just kind of stir it up so that next we're going to move on to making the meatloaf. Okay, I'm going to add in 1 small onion. I'm going to put 3/4 a cup of quick oats. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just kind of coming up with, this is actually 1/4, so I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and then I'm going to put in some Worcestershire, whatever sauce. I don't know however much that is. We're going to squirt some ketchup in there. maybe like that. And oh, my meat's still kind of frozen. Oh, 1 egg. I feel like throwing this hamburger seasoning. I don't know, just give it a little bit more. And I'm gonna squirt just a tad bit more ketchup. And I think that'll be good. Now, I'm gonna mix this up, and then we're gonna get some foil to make kind of like a makeshift pan, and we're gonna make us a little loaf, and then we're gonna get this all started in the Instant Pot. Okay, I have my little trivet thing that we're just gonna set like that. And then, let's see if this will sit. Hopefully that. We're gonna set that like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of, I'm gonna make a mixture to put on top, but I'm gonna put a little bit, just, I don't know why. Okay, now we're going to put the lid on. Okay, now we're going to set it on. There. There. Sorry y'all, I thought I was recording. Okay, I'm making a like glaze or whatever, a topping for the meatloaf. And I'm using the same topping that I use for my meatloaf balls, except I'm splitting it in half. I just put a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of ketchup. And then I'm almost out of mustard. I need about 3/4 of a teaspoon of mustard. So I'm hoping that I can get pretty close to that. That's probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon. Put that in there. And we're gonna mix this up, and when everything is done, I will put this on top, and then I'm gonna stick it in the oven probably for about 5 minutes or so, just to kind of put this on top for a topping and kind of let it thicken up. So that's real easy, like topping. Done. I'm just gonna take out the meatloaf, and I'm gonna put it into a baking dish, and then I'm gonna stick it in the oven for maybe, I think I did it for about 10 minutes. I put that glaze on top, and then I just let it kind of bake for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to mash up these potatoes. I put in some butter, and I also used some heavy whipping cream, a little salt and pepper, and that was it. There's the meatloaf. We made some green beans and corn. And then there's our mashed potatoes. Hey y'all, I'm going to show you how to make some shredded chicken in the Instant Pot. I have 3 pounds of chicken breast that I'm just going to stick in the bottom of my Instant Pot. Okay, now we're going to sprinkle a teaspoon of salt over the meat. We're going to put a teaspoon of pepper. And then a teaspoon of onion powder. And a teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, and it calls for 3 cups of chicken broth. So right here I have, this is 14 ounces, so I'm going to add a little bit, around a half of a can of this water instead of doing all chicken broth because I don't have another can. And then we are going to cook this. I'm going to close it up. Make sure everything's in good. We're going to make sure we have this on pressure cook. We want it on high, normal, and since these are not frozen, 13 minutes. So 13 minutes. And then we're going to let this cook, and once it's done, we're going to let it do like a natural release for 10 minutes, and then we'll let off the rest of the steam, and then we can shred it. Okay, y'all, our chicken has been setting now for 10 minutes, so we're going to let off the rest of the pressure. Now y'all can see I'm just gonna kind of okay, y'all, I have shredded the chicken. Well, there's a few pieces I think I missed, but anyways, I shredded it, and this should be enough to make at least 2 different recipes. And so I'm going to use this in a recipe that we are making tonight, which you will see next. Hey y'all, tonight we're making a cheesy chicken enchilada. Wait. Hey y'all, tonight we're making a baked cheesy enchilada chicken bake. I'm starting out, I've got some Velveeta, and we need 12 ounces of it. So I'm going to kind of measure off. There's 4, 8, and 12. Because I've got the big 32 ounce, I believe. Yeah, the 32 ounce. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to cut these into about 1/2 inch cubes. Sorry about my dog. And I'm going to put them in this bowl here. She is barking. She's outside, and I think she's barking at the cows. So it's probably what she's up to. And I got some new knives on Black Friday, Pioneer Woman. Okay, y'all, now that I have that done, we're using Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. I'm gonna add 1 cup of it to that. And we're also going to add, I believe it's, yes, 1 cup of cheese. I mean, not 1 cup of cheese. 1 cup of milk to that. And then we're going to put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. We're going to stir it about every 30 seconds or so until this cheese mixture stirs easily. So I'm going to do that. Okay, y'all, got the cheese melted. Now we're going to stir the pasta, which I forgot to tell y'all. I cooked, actually it was a 14-ounce box of penne pasta. It calls for 12 ounces, but I just did the box. I believe it was 14. So let's see if it'll all fit in here, hopefully. If not, I'll have to pour it back into the pot over here. But this has been, whoa. Okay, yeah, this might be a little bit, it's been sitting over there for a little while after I finished it, but we're supposed to stir this in. And so that's what I'm doing. My bowl is a little bit small, but we're gonna try to make it work. I have a 9 by 13 inch pan. I'm just gonna kind of spray it with some non-stick cooking spray. And now we're gonna take our pasta cheese mixture and we're gonna spread it in the bottom of the pan. Whoa, it's kind of hot. Ooh, it's hot. So we're gonna spread that on the bottom of this pan. Okay, y'all, I have 3 cups of the shredded cooked chicken that I made earlier from my Instant Pot in this bowl here. And we're gonna add in a can of red enchilada sauce, a 19-ounce can. Let me make sure, yes, a 19-ounce can of that. I'm gonna pour that into our 3 cups of cooked chicken. It called for a can of chopped green chilies, a 4.5 ounce can, and I could not find any. So I found this flame roasted green chilies, medium, so we're gonna use it. So I'm gonna put a little over a 1/2 cup, and that should be equivalent to one of those cans. So here, I'm just gonna use a 1/2 cup. And then we're gonna put in, I'm supposed to have 4 tablespoons of melted butter, so I'm gonna melt this butter real quick. Okay, 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And then the last thing it calls for is this Old El Paso chicken taco seasoning mix. So we're gonna put that in there. If I can get it open. I'm gonna stir that up. So now what we're gonna do is spoon this over the top of our, I have a mess, y'all, over our pasta, so that my son keeps trying to eat. So we're gonna kind of spoon this over the top.
Even though it's just cheese.
So I have my oven preheated to 350, so we're about to put this in there and we're going to cook it for about 28 to 32 minutes until it is bubbly. Yeah, bubbling at the edges, and it should register 165 degrees in the center. Once it's done, we're going to top it with 1 more cup of the shredded cheese that we had, and then we're going to let it set for about 5 minutes. And I need to cut up some green onions that we're going to top on top of it. So I'm going to put this into the oven now. Okay, y'all, I got it out of the oven. Now we're going to sprinkle some more of this cheese on the top. I'm going to stick it back in the oven for about 5 minutes to let it melt. And then it's going to be ready. It smells so good. Oh, it smells just so good. Okay, y'all. Now I'm going to sprinkle these green onions over the top. Okay, y'all, here we go. There, of course, is the cheesy chicken enchilada bake. And it said that you could serve it with some limes to squeeze on top.
Ooh.
Then we have lettuce and tomatoes for salad, and all the stuff for the side. To go on it. And then we have some cheesy garlic bread. So I'm excited to try it.
I do not remember ever trying these, so I'm excited to try these.